Morning, everybody. It's RT here in the lab talking about Bitcoin, talking about Ethereum. Got a few ideas to chew on today. Found a new DeFi project that I'm kind of excited about. Bought a bag today. Chart looks good. Going to share all. If you like what we're doing here on the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button. Makes us feel good, and it doesn't cost you a damn thing. Bitcoin today, looking strong. Confirmed bullish market structure here over the weekend, and as expected, we are squeezing up into this short reload zone. The jury's still out on what will happen up here. We did get a little pullback last night as the bears tried to show up right here and have been overpowered this morning. It's looking really strong, leaning strong probability that we see some chop and continuation. However, it is a tricky spot to suddenly be buying up longs, right? Breakout takes some long ideas. Breakout retest up here takes some long ideas. Right in this moment, it's either the exact local top or we're going to break out. So it's a risky area to be taking fresh positions. But there's some good news coming out of Grayscale. According to you today, Barry Siebert's digital currency group is going to be purchasing 250 million shares of the Bitcoin trust owned by Grayscale. That's GBTC. After what was being called by you today the biggest sell-off to date in NAV terms. Because if you go look at this, I mean, I don't see any major sell-off. A little dip. But right now, apparently, the premium, the negative premium it's trading at is one of the largest ever. So they're going to go buy the dip on GBTC. Thank you, Barry. The Dixie, crawling back up to a key resistance area. Don't really want to see it rally beyond this. This would be a great place for the US dollar to stop and say, I'm not as strong as I'm pretending to be, and then continue down. That would be really good news for crypto in general. You know, I think they could rally together. It's just never happened. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Other than that, we got Ethereum over here. Let's go check out Ethereum. Lagging a little bit today as the ETH BTC chart pulls back. But let's see what it looks like. Last night, same thing. Nice little smackdown here. Thinking maybe it'll retest the EMAs. It didn't even get there yet. Smacked off of this fib extension, really, what put the stop on it, the 786. A little bit of confluence up here. I'd expect to see a little battle here continue. If we do roll down into this area, that's not really that bearish. I mean, again, that's kind of standard fib pong action. Do we flag out before we go? Or is it just going to be straight up? Usually it's not just straight up, but we'll see. Right now, I am not in a place where I can long. In fact, I just closed a long that I had from this breakout. So just to be aware, on a lower time frame, you know, there's times to get bullish, there's times to get bearish, there's times to sit on your hands. And this chart just looks really good right now. It's just kind of up against a resistance in the short reload zone, not a place where I take fresh longs. Now, let's go see ETH BTC. ETH BTC is coming into an interesting level after breaking out over the weekend. So once you see this kind of bullish market structure confirm, you would want to expect to see a retest of that level and sometimes even a dip below that retest into a local reload zone drawn just off that range. We talk about this all the time on our live streams. So, you know, getting into this nitty gritty, that is either, you know, the nice thing about this level down here is that you're close to an invalidation because if it goes below here, the idea was wrong, get the fuck out. But if you do manage to squeeze in some long here, your upside is maximal and your downside you can limit to this. And if it just misses, well, it just misses and you find another trade. So I actually really like the idea of looking here for some long ideas later on this week, perhaps later today. I mean, who knows? I expect it to take a day or two, but I'm going to keep an eye on that. Now let's take a look at some DeFi projects. Yesterday in the newsletter, I highlighted ID and YOP, but then I found this one in the trading pit. Shout out to the guys in the trading pit. They seem to have found a pretty strong looking project. I'm impressed by what I found. I mean, obviously the chart is what caught my attention after the little breakout yesterday. Perfect retest overnight. Sad face, no limit orders. But I did add a little more this morning. And, you know, this thing with the nice big consolidation, chaos PRZ pointing towards some nice highs, bubbling up buy volume here, really ramping up as you can see over the last I guess month. There hasn't been a whole lot of consistent buy volume, and now with this breakout retest we've got a whole bunch of it. So I do expect to see some local fireworks from VSP, who was founded by Jeff Garzik, and I did a brief confirmation of that on Twitter. He does follow them. It does seem to be legit. That's about as far as I needed to go on my due diligence for this one. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't like an outright, like, these are all fake names and it's a total rug. That's about as far as I went on this one. I read through these documents. I can leave them in the description for anyone who's interested. I'm mostly interested in the staking pool where you can stake your VSP tokens, and basically the revenue generated against all Vesper products is used to buy back VSP from the open market. These tokens are then delivered to the staking pool where depositors earn VSP interest proportionate to the size of their deposit. Right now, that's like an 800% APY, and I'm just stuck in there staking. I think it's a 24-hour lock, and then I can withdraw whenever I want. Pretty sure it's auto compounding. So anyways, new little DeFi play. I did ape in a little bit last night and then a little more this morning, and that chart just looks good. Now, speaking of good looking charts, let's check out ID. You guys know I've been talking about this one quite a bit. I have a bag, full disclosure, obviously, and this is starting to look really nice. Okay, this is the kind of thing that I look for in the market. You get a nice hype launch, little rally up here. Everyone apes in, they get really bored, they start to sell off, the pre-salers take their profit, and then we just shake it out and chill. This kind of zone on a project like this that I expect to be quite strong, 50 million market cap, seems low given their scope, FTX partnership, so should see them listed on there at some point, or at least working together with SBF, who I think is a gigabrain that I want to be, nearby in my investments. So all that said, I'm just patiently waiting on ID. We did get a nice little breakout yesterday to about 64, 65 cents. And we're just back in here, which I'm actually pleased with. I'd like to accumulate a little more. And the longer these accumulation zones take to form and then break out eventually, typically the larger the move. So I am not in a rush on this one, and it doesn't look like the market is either. Now lastly, let's take a look over at Yop. Another one that is just kind of waking up after a little slumber. This was featured in the newsletter yesterday as well, right here. Now, they announced that they were going to be a Launchpad aggregator. So by holding Yop on their wallet, you could gain access to 9 different Launchpads: Polkastarter, DuckDAO, Bounce, DAO Maker, all kinds of things. And those coins had all been doing really well over the last month. I think they're all kind of cooling down right this minute. But Launchpads are hot. And so that caused a big pump, obviously, in Yop. And they're just doing a lot of cool stuff with yield optimization. And, I'm excited to use the wallet. I think it's coming out either end of month or sometime in Q2. So it's a very close thing. And the fact that it just kind of came down and sat and rested on this resistance and support, and is starting to rally a little bit here. I'm excited for, the next leg on this thing. I don't think it's done. Not by a long shot. So, got my bags. I got some Yop, got some ID, I've got some VSP, and I'm keeping a close eye on this ETH dip as Bitcoin is just pushing up to near all-time highs today. But again, still just in this short reload zone, so I'm not going to get too excited on local longs or anything crazy like that. Whatever you guys do, make sure to check us out at 3 p.m. today, Eastern Time. We'll be on DeltaFi with the whole squad, including Messiah, Gunny, and Levvy, and myself. Until then, always play from a position of strength. Take care.